area of expertise, but I know that.
I mean, there should be a collaborative. Yeah.
She's trying to.
Oh, there he is.
Tempting. Fancy white.
Right.
I don't know. This is an assumption.
It's worth the.
Give it a day, you know, give it a day, like, we don't.
Maybe not.
I mean,
Anyway. I know he's not here.
Good evening, Vacaville. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Vacaville Parks and Recreation Commission. Today is May 7th, 2025, and the time is 6 p.m. So the first item on the agenda is a swearing in of our new Parks and Recreation Commissioner, Brandon Klein. We're pleased to welcome him and appreciate his commitment to serve the Vacaville community. So at this time, I'll turn it over to our city clerk, Michelle Thornburg, to conduct the swearing in.
All right, raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I,
State your name,
Brandon Klein,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend
support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter. Thank you.
Welcome. Let's see. Wonderful. Next item is roll call. Secretary Flancia Reyes, would you please call the roll?
Sure. Commissioner Bruman,
Here.
Commissioner Frazier,
Here.
Commissioner Gollinger, Commissioner Kelsey,
Here.
Commissioner Klein, Vice Chair Gutierrez, and Chair Oz.
Here.
Thank you.
Great. Next on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. But in honor of Commissioner Bruman's belated birthday, I'd like to ask that he lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner?
My birthday is November.
Is that true?
Yeah.
No.
November 7th.
No way. You're kidding.
Yeah, no, my birthday, it was my wife's birthday.
So we're 6 months late.
Same for
In honor of Commissioner Bruman, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, Commissioner Bruman, maybe you could tell your wife happy birthday
Yes,
for us.
I will.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So next on the item is approval of the agenda. Commissioners, you have the agenda before you. Are there any amendments to propose? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
So I have a motion and a second to approve tonight's agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Great. Next on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the April 2nd, 2025 regular meeting. I'll ask if there are any additions or corrections to the minutes from the commission or staff. Hearing none. So as Commissioner Klein was newly appointed and not present at the last meeting, Commissioner, you'll need to abstain from voting on this item unless you've watched the meeting in its entirety. So do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
I make a motion to approve.
And second?
Second.
Second? I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the April 2nd, 2025 meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions?
I abstain, although I feel like this is a test. Do I watch the meeting?
No problem. Motion carries with one abstention. Great. Moving on to communications. Staff, have we received any written communications for the commission tonight?
Good evening, Chair Oz. No, we have not received any communication.
Great, next. So next on the agenda is presentations. Director Mulder, would you please introduce item 8A?
Yes, good evening once again. So we're excited this evening to have a recognition of one of our employees who have worked for the Parks and Recreation Department for over 20 years. And we have Maintenance Coordinator Jason Snyder and Recreation Specialist Katie Marquez, who are here to give a presentation on to recognize Carlos Trevino, who has been with the city for over 20 years as a part-time staff.
Good evening, everyone. We're here this evening to recognize a truly outstanding someone. This is my Carlos began. He later became his commitment. However, contributions to the city span over 50 years. From 1969 to 1971, Carlos owned and operated Jay's Service Center in Vacaville. He then embarked on a successful 13-year career with AT&T, serving as an international sales manager from 1971 to 1984. In 1984, he became a well-known business owner in Vacaville, running Telefax for 20 years until 2004. Not one to sit idle, Carlos also served as a courier for Vacaville Fire Department Station 71 between 2000 and 2004. Carlos is a true community builder. He served as an advisory board member of the Vacaville Museum and the Vacaville Boys and Girls Club, which continues to serve youth to this day. Carlos was a founding board member for the Solano County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, still an active voice for Hispanic business in this region. He was also a co-founder of the Le Tip Group, a former network organization that supported local business growth in Vacaville. His civic involvement is equally impressive. Carlos served as the longest standing board member of downtown Vacaville, helping him shape and improve our downtown area. He even ran for city council against Ron Rowlett, and although he narrowly missed a seat by just 1,700 votes, he has assured us he has no ambitions to return to politics. For the past 25 years, Carlos has also been a proud member of the Odd Fellows in Vacaville and has volunteered for the Department of Defense's ESGR program, the Employee Support of the Guard and Reserve, advocating for the rights and recognition of military service members in the workforce. This is a commitment he still maintains to this day. Carlos Trevino is more than an employee. He is a pillar of this community. His service touches every corner of Vacaville, from our youth to our veterans, our businesses to our parks. His legacy not only measured in years, but in lives touched, relationships built, and the pride he brings to every role he takes on. Carlos, from all of us, thank you. Thank you for your 20 years of service to the Parks and Recreation Department and for a lifetime of contributions to the city of Vacaville. Your energy, wisdom, and generosity continue to inspire us all.
Thank you so much.
Carlos, we would like to present you with a certificate of achievement, and I would personally like to thank you for all that you do for Georgia Youth. I don't know how much I appreciate you. I can't say it enough, and I've learned so much from you, and I'm so honored to work with you. Thank you so much.
Carlos, if you would like.
Short of words, but I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the city of Vacaville, and I've met a lot of, well, I've met all the mayors from the city since Bill Carroll was here. And I've enjoyed living in this city. I come from a Concord area, and this was a tremendous growth, not only for me, but for the city at the same time. We had like 44,000 then, now we have over 100,000 population. So I'm very happy to be in this community with my family and my wife here, and we thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. And Carlos, if I may, I would like to invite the commission down to in front of the dais and maybe invite you up to take a picture, and maybe you and your wife, if you would. Great. Let's do that. I'll have you next month. I'll have you be the president.
I'm out.
I know. I was like, don't trip, don't trip, don't trip. Thank you.
Wonderful. Again, well, congratulations. Thank you for your service, Carlos. Great. That was nice. So, Director Mueller, would you introduce the next presentation, 8B?
Yes, good evening once again, commissioners. This item is a presentation on our special events and cultural arts programming, and we have Recreation Coordinator Kristen Milliken, who's going to come forward and do a presentation for us.
Good evening, commissioners. Nice to see so many familiar faces and some new faces. Thank you for doing what you do for our community and continuing to support Parks and Rec. I'm Kristen Milliken. I am a recreation coordinator. I oversee 2 program areas, cultural arts and special events. And then over here to my right is my new support staff.
Denise, I'm sorry.
Get it, Denise.
Hi, my name is Denise Palaio.
Thank you. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with cultural arts, and then we'll move right into special events. All right, next slide. So some of our cultural art classes, we have visual arts, we have a lot of different types of classes. So our visual arts, we've got acrylic paint. This is with our instructor, Tori Carr. She offers back to basics, step-by-step, and all levels paint and sketch, and all of which are beginner-friendly classes. And then we have our art and activity classes. We have Let There Be Art. That's with cultural arts. She also offers some additional classes with our other program areas, for example, origami with special interest. And then she also has preschool classes as well. In addition, she has summer camps. So her camps are very popular. Next slide. Thank you. Other current classes that we have are dance, a variety of dance. We have ballet, which are at various levels for children ages 3 to 18 years old. And then we have our Western line dancing for adults that are 18 and older. I would say that line dancing continues to be very popular. It's over at Ulatis. If you want to go on Wednesdays, I want to say it's 6 or 6:30, you can get your groove on. And other classes that we have our music classes. So it was last year, probably around this time, that our longtime instructor, Lona Romagosa, she had been with the city for about 17 years and she moved. And so she had a wealth of classes that she had built for 17 years. And so now she still offers classes, mostly private lessons, and they're virtual. School of Rock, they offer summer camps. I know with Lona not having some of her music classes, they were able to take some of those classes, some different classes, but still offer some additional music classes. And we also have singing. We have private. Private is only available virtually and it's off-site. And then we also have group lessons available on Tuesdays at a variety of times for different ages. Our new class offerings, so we are working with Live Music Center and they're offering a beginning jazz combo class. And then we have Intro to Music with Adrian Huff. And so Adrian Huff, he has 3 children and he went through a series of Lona's classes. It was music for little Mozarts. And so he felt really comfortable because his kids, all 3 of his kids had gone through her classes. He felt very comfortable, hey, I'd like to be able to take on some of these classes. We're gonna rename it a little bit, tweak it a little bit. And he's done very well. So he's doing 2 different age groups. It is, so one of the age groups is 4 to 6 years old, and then the other age group is 7 to 10, and it's Tuesdays at our Fairmont facility. And finally on this, thank you. Other new class offerings, we are working with the Joyful Arts Center, and they are doing a holiday camp and workshops. Their holiday camp is usually in November, also in December, and they've been very popular as well. What I love is, in addition to Joyful Arts Center offering classes with the city, they also come to our events and they do different art shows. So it's great to be able to have it twofold. Next slide. Some of our accomplishments this year, we've been able to acquire some new contractors like the ones I just shared, Adrian and Joyful Arts Center. It was studio, I caught myself. And then also Live Music Center. And then other accomplishments, some of the instructors were showcased at our Recreation Expo that we have annually. And so Linda Holloman, with all of her summer camps, she's there. It's a really great opportunity for parents to come and meet the instructor, learn about the classes. Linda's classes are great because she's very descriptive on what the objectives are, what children are gonna learn, what they're gonna take away. And then School of Rock is there, and they usually have some kind of fun interactive activity or drums so kids can partake. Some of the challenges, as I mentioned, we did lose one of our longtime contractors, Lona, who had been with the city for 17 years. So we're always looking for a new music contractor. Call me. And other challenges, acquiring new contractors. We do continue to put out advertisements in the events guide, which comes out 3 times a year. We also advertise on our Facebook page at Vacaville Rec. We're always looking for new contractors. And then competition, as I've mentioned before, we do have ballet studios fairly close in proximity to McBride where our ballet classes are held. Any questions or comments about cultural arts?
Any questions from the commission?
I have a question.
Or Kelsey?
Quick question, Kristen. Are there any issues regarding acquiring musical instruments for these, for the Intro to Music class?
Are there issues
Regarding acquiring musical instruments?
musical instruments?
Is there any shortages or is there any?
Usually, I know with it, for example, like Adrian, the kind of the luxury of him being able to be at our Fairmont facility is there's a little bit more flexibility. We have a cabinet out there so that he provides the pianos for the children to be able to participate, so they don't have to have, it's not something that they have to purchase. And he can store it at site, so it's not something that he's hauling back and forth. It's just that ease of access.
Got it. One other question, just to
Yes.
follow up. So the Intro to Music is primarily piano instruction. Is there anything with, say, stringed instruments as well? Guitar, violin,
There used to
cello?
be. I would love for that to come back. I actually, Adrian doesn't know this, but he might know this tonight if he's watching. But I would really like to ask him to start offering ukulele if he has that skill. So, and if you have any suggestions, I'd love to talk after. If you have any people that you might know that want to teach strings.
I have a drumming background, but I'm not sure parents would enjoy having drums in their house, so.
Drums are good. I like drums.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Kristen? I do have one. If there's, Kristen, what's the typical engagement look like with a contractor? Do we provide them a stipend? How do they receive? Do they receive payment, or is it volunteering, or does it vary?
That is a great question. So my experience is that working with a contractor, if they are using our facility, then they have a split. So it's a 60-40 split, with the contractor receiving 60% of registration fees and the city receiving 40%. And that 40% is really covering the cost of having an attendant, using the facility, marketing, so those kinds of things. For example, with Joyful Arts Center and live music, because it takes place off-site, it's gonna be a different split. It's an 80-20 split, because they're not using our facility, they're not having our attendants, we're not having to schedule staff. Did that answer your question? I want to make sure I answer it completely.
And do the contractors find that to be fair and reasonable and?
Yes, on the whole, I have found that contractors have been fine with it.
Have there been times where you might make exceptions because of the unique offering by that contractor, or?
Trying to think in my time here if there has been exceptions. I would say not personally with me, but I think that there may have been exceptions. But that it would be on a case-by-case and more than likely rare.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably really depends on the circumstance.
One more question, Commissioner Klein.
Thank you for the presentation, Kristen. I do have a question about just benchmarking with, the surrounding community, others in the region like Davis and Fairfield. How would our offerings and approach compare to what they're doing?
That's a really great question. And I know what I'm gonna do tonight when I get home. I'm gonna go ahead and Google what Davis is doing and what Fairfield is doing. I haven't looked recently. I would say it's fairly competitive with what they're offering, but I'm gonna go do some research and I can always come back to that at a later time.
Sorry.
I'll email you.
Yeah, that's an unfair question. But I was thinking with the contractors that, maybe you can pluck some people from over there and have them just do double time, so we can keep up with maybe some of the things like the string offerings, because I got my daughter a violin for Christmas, for instance, and it'd be great to put her in a program like that.
I agree. And my son, in 4th grade, he starts picking up the strings, and I would love to have a local option myself. And you're onto something for sure. For example, our ballet instructor, she does teach in Fairfield and she does teach in Vacaville. So it is a very good suggestion to find out who's doing what, and maybe they want to drive just a little further and come see us.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Great. Thank you, Kristen.
Okay, you ready for special events? Dun, dun, dun.
Go on.
Okay. All right, special events. So as you can see, these are some of our community favorites. Not too long ago, we just had our Bunnies of Bonnets event on April 19th. It was a really nice day. And you know what happens on really nice days? A lot of people like to come out, which is a great thing. I would say because the event was happening in Andrews Park, our central location, and then we also had the farmers market happening at the same time. Can I just tell you, there were so many people. I would say the event started about 15 minutes before the event started, but it was a good thing. That's a good thing to have. Yeah, we had lots of vendors. We had the egg hunt, about 9,000 eggs, parents and kids alike. They had a really good time. I got to be in a spot that I'm not normally. Usually I get to be that floater person. And so I got to be at the egg hunt, which was lovely because I got to hear the people say, oh, this is so nice. Or I feel like I like how it's set up this year. It feels really safe. And so I got to hear the conversations of what they're gonna be saying on their ride home. And that's not always a picture I get. And so that was unique. And I really appreciated that because those are the conversations I'm wanting to hear. How are people leaving our events? Do they feel safe? Do they feel like they want to come back? Do they feel like they see themselves as part of the community? So that was a really special takeaway from Bunnies and Bonnets. We had our wagon rides as well. Vacaville did not happen this year. In its place, we are doing our multicultural event. More to say on that. Vacaville is slated to be back every other year. All right, Creek Walk Concert Series, which is knocking on our door. It's about a month away. It's gonna kick off this year on June 20th, and it's gonna run all summer long, 6:30 to 9:30 until August 1st. So everybody 13 and up is $3, 12 and under are free. And on that first kickoff event, we are going to be celebrating Juneteenth. So from 6 to 6:30, we will have some speakers out there. It's going to be a fun event. So I hope that you guys will come down and celebrate with us. I believe this year, no, I know this year, we are celebrating 25 years of Creek Walk in Vacaville. It's a big year for us. So come on down and celebrate. We will have our annual 4th of July fireworks show and concert. This year, we also have Confunction. They're coming back by popular demand. So Confunction, the tickets for general admission are gonna be $25 in advance and $30 day of. So if you wanna buy your tickets in advance, we do ask you to go through Ticket Spice. All of that information, if you go on to Civic Rec, which is our registration page, if you choose GA, general admission for Confunction, it will redirect you to Ticket Spice. If, however, you wanna go with some of your closest friends and get a VIP table, which are limited, you and 7 of your friends for $325, you could be a VIP, which means that you meet beforehand at the McBride Senior Center in an air-conditioned environment, which in August is amazing. We will give you some prepackaged snacks. There will be an opportunity to do a meet and greet with the band. And then we'll walk you over before the crowd even gets in and drop you down to your tables on site. So on site, you'll have some wait service with staff. If there's also an individual VIP option, which is $50, again, these are limited, and you would just be placed at a table with some new friends. Anything else I want to say about Confunction? I don't think so. All right, Dia de los Muertos. I have a lot to say about that, but I have to hold back until that slide. But Dia de los Muertos, just quickly, we did, in the past it was on a Thursday and it was for about an hour and a half. And so this past year, we had it on a Saturday for about 4 hours and it was a big deal. It was really great to see the people come out, to see the different dance groups. More to say. Neighborhood Santa is the parade around our neighborhood parks. 15 of our neighborhood parks. We work in collaboration with PAL, Police Activities League. They help us to build a Santa float. And then we also have a Recology garbage truck. We have a City Coach bus. We have the Grinch. New this year, we had Chick-fil-A, and they had their cow. Thank you. I always want to say chicken, but it's not a chicken, it's a cow. And they were giving away some free gift cards. And then we always have Vote for Your Favorite Float, and Recology won 2 years in a row. So City Coach, they're coming back this year, I bet. All right, and then finally we have Merriman on Main, which you guys all know. It's the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Okay, next slide. All right, so some of the updates, sometimes I get ahead of myself, so forgive me. Vacatry is going to be back in 2026. We do have our inaugural Multicultural Festival, so that's this Saturday. If you guys are free, I know it's Mother's Day weekend, but if you could pop over, that would be lovely. It's from 1 to 5. So farmers market is in the morning, and then just, cruise on over and come see us. We have a really great lineup of people coming. And then we have Dia de los Muertos, which, I already spilled the beans on that. The event was held on a Saturday with the extended time frame. And then we had some additional vendors and a new dance group, Micho Acan, Mex by Los Crepites de Fairfield. And then I already said all that about Neighborhood Santa. Like I said, I jumped ahead of myself. Yay. Next, wait, don't go next slide. Oh yes, perfect. We have a short video for you from Neighborhood Santa. Enjoy.
For you and your family.
All right, connecting with our community. So each year we do host special events, does host an intern through the Summer at City Hall program that the City of Vacaville puts on. And it's always great because the intern, they get to see the behind the scenes. They get to connect with the bands and create the timeline and create the script for Creek Walk. And then if they want extra credit, they will come to a creek walk and they will actually help us set up and take down. And so I've been very fortunate with my interns. They have been fabulous. 2 of my interns I've hired. So it's a great program. I love supporting it every year. And next, let's see, volunteers from various organizations. We can't do what we do without the volunteer. These are the different volunteer groups that we've worked with, PAL, AVID, and the Teen Advisory Group, also known as TAG, and then Markham Elementary. And then, as I shared earlier, we do have our multicultural event that's happening this Saturday. We're gonna have Portuguese music, we're going to have Bolivian music, we're gonna have some Polynesian dancers, we're gonna have a dragon dancer. I'm trying to think of all the things on the spot. It is a first-time event, and this event is in collaboration with Downtown Vacaville Business Improvement District. And I have to share, it was a little slow at first to get some traction. It was a little sleepy, but then it was amazing. Like once everybody found out about it, they all came. It was magnetic. And so that's very exciting. I think there's still room to grow and have more representation at this event. Yes, that's what I wanted to say about the multicultural. And our collaborators, Downtown Vacaville Business Improvement District, as I mentioned, PAL, Solano County Library, Visit Vacaville, the Vacaville Art Gallery, the Vacaville Museum, Joyful Art Studio, now Center, Los Cochinos Danzantes Unidos, and then the Vacaville Swim Club. We can't do it alone. Challenges. Securing staff and volunteers. I would say this year in particular, especially with volunteers, and I'm sure I hear this with other organizations as well, that volunteerism is down. We try and create an incentive that if they volunteer, if they're able to provide a certain number of volunteers, and actually, if they just provide 2 or 3 volunteers, they usually get like a Dutch Bros gift certificate, or gift card rather, so that they can go ahead and use that on themselves. we do try and celebrate our volunteers just so that they keep coming back and volunteering. Other challenges, securing sponsorships, we've been able to maintain a lot of our relationships. Some sponsors, the amount, it depends on the amount that they want to sponsor. And then inflation, of course, the cost of living has gone up, and so everything has gone up with it. Fencing, restrooms, fireworks, you name it. Some of our accomplishments, bringing new events to the community, like the Multicultural Festival that's happening, adding new layers to events, such as Dia de los Muertos, where we were able to put it on a Saturday and extend it. Our partnerships with internal staff and local businesses. So we work in partnership. So we get a lot of our elves for Neighborhood Santa through PAL, but also we have a program here with the City of Vacaville. It's called COV Life. And each year I send them a sign up and it's really neat because different departments can sign up and they can volunteer. People from finance, people from community development, and they get to be an elf. They get to step outside their normal role and be able to give back to the community. Sponsorships, we continue to have a really great relationship with Kaiser. Kaiser continues to sponsor Creek Walk and Merriment on Main each year. And then I just got back from San Diego. It was in April. I went to San Diego to CalFest training. So I go to that training every year. It's a training where people from all over the state of California and Nevada who oversee special events or are event producers, they come together and we talk about events. They're my people. It's very fun. And really how to create a safe space for events, to talk about the things that maybe we don't want to talk about, but we need to talk about. And then, we also hired a recreation specialist 3 for special events, Denise. So I feel very fortunate to have found this lucky lady. She was already working at our front desk. You've been with the city, I think, 6 or 7 years. And so we've had our conversations here and there, and then I brought her up to the office. It's great. And finally, do you guys have any questions or comments?
I'm sure we do,
I know you do.
Let's start with Commissioner Klein.
And I was remiss in saying, not saying welcome, Denise, from a newcomer to another. So I just have a couple questions. I didn't see the Vacaville Chamber of Commerce on there as a partner, sponsor, or what have you. That's
a good point. I have probably worked with the chamber in the past in some capacity, and I probably should have put them on there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a great opportunity to get local businesses involved, speaking as a chamberman myself.
Thank you.
And about the Juneteenth, can you where is the Juneteenth event in terms of how new is it? And I know that there's something that happens already, but it seems like that's a growth opportunity as well.
What was the last part you said? Would you
look at the Juneteenth event as a growth opportunity that could develop maybe?
I do. So the last 2 years, I believe the Juneteenth event has been with our senior programming. And so we wanted to make it bigger. We wanted to have the outreach be much bigger this year. And so I'm collaborating with that program coordinator because she's still doing, instead of having it just for the seniors, we're trying to bring it to the wider community. And so that's why we decided to bring the seniors and have it at Creek Walk for that first night. So I would like to continue to see it grow and be a part of Creek Walk.
Yeah, it'd be terrific if that could be more of an event to get more cultural events on the calendar.
May I just ask a quick question? Do you see that as being a separate event from Creek Walk, or do you like that it's part of Creek Walk?
I think it's a great nexus between the two.
Yeah.
It would be great to advertise it as an event in itself that's maybe happening at Creek Walk, but just because it's got national branding and people know what it means. I think actually some people do. I think it has as a concept, I think Juneteenth is a growth opportunity all around for people to know what it means. But I believe that there are a lot of partnerships around, like the SAC Black Chamber, the Fairfield Black Chamber, and just other partners that would actually sponsor an event like that, perhaps. I mean,
I like that.
The growth opportunity.
Did you write that down? Okay, good. Fantastic.
And then I know that Kairos parents have to volunteer.
Okay.
So I bet that would be an opportunity to get volunteers to partner to the extent you involve Kairos.
I know that I've worked with Buckingham in the past, and they've been able to, because they have like a certain amount of volunteer hours that they have to fulfill. Okay. I haven't reached out to Kairos in the past, but I will. Am I allowed to name drop? Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you for your
Klein.
questions.
Commissioner Kelsey.
Hi, welcome, Brenda.
Denise. Kristen.
Sorry. Welcome, Denise. Sorry about that. I just want to talk to you a little bit about the securing sponsorships.
Sure.
Is there a minimum amount that the corporate sponsors or sponsors need to sort of bring to the table?
So we have a brochure that we send out to a variety of businesses, and the sponsor level does start at 500, and it can go up as high as they want to go. But even though it says 500, if they wanted to start lower, if there was a small local business that wanted to come in at 250, absolutely.
And a follow-up on that is, you've got Kaiser doing the Creek Walk. Has there been any efforts to lure Lonza on board to do something? I may have a contact there.
Yes, if you have a contact. I know there. It was, oh yeah. And so Genentech has sponsored Creek Walk in the past, so I don't have a contact for Lonza, but I have you as a contact for Lonza. So this is good.
And lastly, you've got, I saw Markham Elementary on one of the like collaborators, or exactly what it was on one of the
Yes, so
events
in the
and stuff.
past, we have worked with Markham Elementary with our Dia de los Muertos event.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
Have you done anything with Cambridge Elementary or Browns Valley Elementary? Or I have contacts there as well.
I have not. You said Browns Valley as well?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
They do a harvest festival every year. A big harvest festival coinciding with Halloween and all that stuff. So they have event space there at the elementary school that maybe you can pull some resources together and use that or something else. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Commissioner Oz?
Yes.
I'm just going to jump in real quick. Just want to make sure that our questions are kind of around the topic and that we are not getting too far off topic. So just kind of keep that in mind as we're going through the questions and comments with the staff reports. Thank you.
Vice Chair Gutierrez.
Hi.
Hi.
Kind of to piggyback on what the others said, but not really, but the volunteer, having 2 kids in high school right now, as the kids are trying to bulk up their college resumes, there may be an opportunity. Like, am I too loud? There may be.
I can turn mine off.
Okay. There may be an opportunity to grab some of those high school kids to help volunteer, because I know they are looking. I get calls all the time from my kids or friends, or what's going on, and is there a volunteer? Because they are looking to have as many things listed on their resume as possible. So.
Well, feel free to share my contact information. Absolutely.
I will. I may have your cell phone number.
Yes, find me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And one other thing, I don't know if you guys have received this feedback, and it's funny, I just recently did, but as we're coming up with events, and I love how you guys are expanding into different cultural events, but I've been told by a couple people recently that we're not targeting like the late teens to maybe late 30. They feel like a lot of our events are targeted either towards really, really young or the older population, and that we're skipping in that group. They're going to Dixon Mayfair, or they're going to Winters, or they're going to Fairfield for different events, and don't see themselves. And I'm bringing up things like, oh, the multicultural event,
Yeah.
which people thought that was a kids event. And I think it's because of the logo. It's like the kids around so it looks like a kiddie kind of event. So I think when you were talking about, do people see themselves? So I think maybe to think about as we're marketing these things, do, mid-20s, early 30s, mid-30s, do they see themselves in that marketing piece? And I'm like, what about Creek Walk? And they're like, again, it's little kids or old people dancing together. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm one of those old people that dance down there. but I had to, step outside of myself and see, like, if I was a 27-year-old, would I want to go dance with my friends down at Creek Walk? Maybe not, if I don't see myself there.
Well,
so what do we do to like get them and really show them that?
Well, I appreciate that. And I'm wondering, like, I know we have VacaCon.
Right.
I know that Denise has experience going to VacaCon, and I feel like that attracts maybe that younger group.
Yes.
For sure. But I'm going to have to think about that more in looking at the events that I oversee and how to maybe attract that different age demographic. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you guys I appreciate everything you guys do.
Thanks.
Commissioner Frazier.
Okay. And by the way, I can help you kind of like have any inroads into the counseling departments at the high schools.
Okay.
So I got some
you guys have the connections.
But mine was really short. I just want to say you guys do an awesome job. There's a lot of planning that goes into it. I know from just the things I've helped with, and you guys do a great job. So just appreciate it and thank you. So.
Thank you. Thanks, I appreciate that. We appreciate that.
Yeah, I would echo that sentiment as well. I think, you always hear about this sense of community, and I think it's really these community events that give that special. One of the special things about Vacaville is that why do we have this sense of community? Because you bring us together with so many of these great events. So I think thank you for everything that you do. I actually, if it was for me, I would actually be inclined to rename the department the Parks, Recreation, and Community Events Department, because totally. I mean, you seem to be left out a little bit in that title. But I do just have a couple questions. One is on wondering if you have or collect any metrics, like for example, Creek Walk. Do you have a sense as to like how many, what the attendance is on an average night or over the course of the summer?
We do.
Yeah.
We do. We're able to track our ticket sales, and I think especially using a cashless option like Square, that's really easy for us to be able to track. Working with collaborators like DVBID, when we had Bunnies and Bonnets on the same day as a farmer's market and then this multicultural festival, they're using, I believe it's called Placer AI, which can show the crowds, where they're going, where they're coming from. And so, yes. Did I answer your full question? I want to make sure that I
think the other metric that I don't know if you track it or not would be interesting is just how many are coming from outside of Vacaville to these events, because I would think Creek Walk, at least in my experience talking with friends and family throughout the county, when we talk about Vacaville, they talk about Creek Walk and they attend all the time. And I say, well, you don't even live here. So it becomes like a regional draw, and it'd be interesting just to know what that statistic looks like.
We do have a survey that we usually put on trees at the event, and but that is a really great question. Just like, where are you coming from? I know we're able to collect that data for that finale concert for Confunction, or last year it was Club Nouveau and Quad City DJs. So that finale concert, because we go through Ticket Spice, we are able to collect that information. But yeah, these other events, that's a good question.
And that leads into my last question was on. How do you get feedback on these different events? I know just by interactions at the event, and sure, but you mentioned a survey. Do you have sort of formal, informal surveys that?
We do. We have QR codes all throughout the event. It's really great to be able to capture the people on the day of, especially if they're having good moments or bad moments. Right. I want both. I want to hear the good, the bad, the ugly, because that's the only way we can make it better. So we do have the surveys. Even after the event, I try and have our marketing person post the survey again, just on our social media platform. Maybe they didn't have a chance to scan the QR code at the event, but there's still an opportunity after. We absolutely want to hear what worked and then what didn't. And what do you want to see? So.
One last, Commissioner Bruman.
Yes. Oh, I'm up. Anyways, Kristen, you do a fantastic job. I've been out to all the events, and you put your heart and soul. You guys all do. And welcome, Denise. And then they do track everybody's phone so they can tell you what zip codes they're coming from. Because with DVBID, with the new program they're using, it does track you who's coming from where. And I think something you should talk with Leslie, and she's got pretty much insight on that. So, but no, continue to work. I know it's a lot of work, and the heat's coming.
I know.
And anyway, and also to Commissioner Gutierrez, regarding VacaCon, there was a lot of teens there. That was amazing. I was able to be part of that, and that was pretty awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Always good to see those familiar faces out at the events too. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Kristen and Denise. Welcome, Denise. Great.
Thanks. Have a good evening.
All right. So we're moving on to our next item on the agenda is business from the floor. This is the time to address the commission with issues that are not on the agenda tonight and are within the commission's subject matter jurisdiction. There are 3 minutes, a maximum of 3 minutes per speaker. Does anyone wish to address the commission tonight regarding a topic that's not on the agenda this evening? Yes. Yes, please just come to the podium, state your name for the record, please, and go ahead and share your comments. And let me turn that on for you. There you go. Good evening. Maybe pull it down a little bit more.
Actually, I have questions. I know the Department of Rec can help me. I know the Department of Rec can help me. And I need assistance. I have property on Leisure Town Road in Elmira, and we have an abundance. The creek is behind us, but an abundance of dead wood and dying trees. And I need to know, who do I contact? I have tried 3 years in a row with the Department of
Public Works?
Public Works, yes. I have tried for 3 years with no avail. And they do, they're not supposed to, but they do set off fireworks and so forth on the walkway behind us. And if any of those trees catch fire, it's going to be horrible. The other issue I have is we have a 250-year-old heritage tree that the city of Vacaville told us, you will not touch that. We have not touched it, but ivy grows 3/4 of the way up now, which will kill that old tree. I just need assistance as to who to contact.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll try to connect you with staff that maybe can take some information and help you. Anybody other in the audience wish to speak to the commission tonight? Great. If there are no speakers, I'll close business from the floor. And we will move on to committee reports. Commissioner Bruman, would you like to present on the Vacaville Arts and Cultural Alliance?
Sure. Okay, the update I got from Kaya from Visit Vacaville, it was a successful airplane air at the weekend over at Pinadobe, which kind of was at the same time that VacaCon was going on, but they seemed to have had a great, successful, and a lot of people come out. Next year, they plan to join forces with the Parks and Rec and also with the multicultural event, so make it all one big thing. So the other thing is Farm to Table is coming up, which will be May 16th. It'll be held at the Joyful Ranch. Tickets are $175. And if you need to know more, just go to the Visit Vacaville website and get your more information on that. Also, they will be installing the plaques for the cows on the parade trail, art trail. So they'll be working on that too. Pretty much, other than that, the farm to table is the big event that they're focusing right now. Also, our next VACA Arts meeting will be Tuesday, May 13th. But other than that, it was really good. It was a beautiful weekend for that too, to be out there. So it was, they felt they was a successful and fun time.
You also get a dozen of eggs with the
Dozen eggs, yeah.
$175 ticket.
Well, you get a lot of good food.
Thank you, Commissioner Bruman. And any questions for Commissioner Bruman? Right. Seeing none, we'll move on to the report for the Vacaville Performing Arts Theater Show Selection Committee, and I sit on that committee. As I'd mentioned at the last commission meeting, the budget is experiencing like $11 million shortfall this year. So we're having just a little bit of budget challenges, nothing that can't be solved. But I think one of the cuts that's being made is to the funding for the number of city-sponsored shows. And so we're probably going to be able to do about 2 shows this year. But again, that's just the city-sponsored shows. If you go to the website, you'll see the incredible list of offerings. So there's still numerous offerings at VPAT for this year, but the city sponsor will go down to 2. But we have confirmed for November 23rd, and I'll sort of move over to Steph. I wasn't quite positive on that date for the Mariachi Holiday Show. Does that sound right? And Elizabeth isn't here.
I know that, yeah, that is an Elizabeth question. I apologize.
No, I had in my notes, but I wasn't absolutely positive, but I think so. I believe the Mariachi Holiday Show, Sunday show is on November 23rd, is going to be one of our great events. And then I'm sure people are familiar with Bob Marley and the Wailers, one of probably the most famous reggae band. In his passing in the early 80s, the Wailers continued his legacy. And so we have the Wailers performing on August 10th. This will actually be next year, which will be really, really great show. They're a great group. So we're proud to announce those 2 shows for the upcoming season. And lastly, I would just, as I always do, I just invite the commission and the public to continue to make recommendations on shows for the future. And we want to welcome all of those recommendations, and we will actually take that and do any research that we can to see if we can actually bring them to Vacaville. So reach out to probably Elizabeth, me, or the director, and we can do that research and see if we can possibly bring that show to Vacaville. And as I've always mentioned too, make sure to subscribe to VPAT's website or their Facebook page or Instagram page, and they'll automatically just be sending you all the offerings as they come up, and so you don't miss any of those. So that finishes my report. Are there any questions, the commission? Great. Moving on to reports of the park manager. Good evening, Wallace.
Good evening, Chair Oz, commissioners. Welcome, Commissioner Klein. So I just have a few photos for you of some painting projects that we've completed over this last month through a contractor that we're using. Over the past month, the restrooms at Centennial, Arlington, Creek Walk, Pena, Adobe, and Lagoon Valley Parks all received fresh coats of paint to refresh, help brighten, and improve the facilities for the visitors of our parks. Along with the painting of the restrooms, we painted all the metal light poles at 12 of our parks along with the fences at Stonegate Park and the skate park at the Three Oaks Community Center. Lastly, the remaining structures at Keating Park, which we started this painting project 3 years ago, was finally completed, and the full repainting of the facility is now done. It's probably been since I played Little League there a long time ago. So, and that's all that I have for you tonight. Any questions or comments?
Thank you, Wallace. Any questions? Great, thank you, Wallace.
Good evening.
So moving on to item 13, reports of the park planner, Nemo Gonzalez. Will give us an update. Evening, Nemo.
Good evening, Chair, Commissioners. Welcome, Commissioner Klein. Good to have you. So I've just got some brief updates. I promised Chair Oz that I would come back with a business item at some point in the future with a more elaborate sort of discussion about park projects. These are intended to be sort of brief updates on projects that we manage internally and then other projects that other departments are managing that impact our sites. First update is on phase 2 for both Corderos and Nash Meso Park. Corderos Park is wrapping up. Construction on the basketball court, picnic tables, benches, shade trees is about 95% complete. Same is true of Nash Meso, or the park at Brighton Landing subdivision. They are receiving a basketball court that's approximately 95% done as well. Construction should be completed at the end of the month, but typically if there's any planting associated with any of the improvements that are occurring, there's an establishment period, and so there's a bit of a negotiation that we have with the contractors on whether or not we can reconfigure fencing to make some of those amenities available. So sometimes the fencing has to stay up beyond the construction completion date. Sometimes we can negotiate to open it up. The Alamo Creek Park improvements have begun. Construction fencing went up last week, and we anticipate that construction will go through the beginning of August, and then that's prior to the 90-day establishment period. But one of the things that we have discussed with this specific contractor is the idea of reconfiguring the fencing around just the planting to open the amenities, which is a new full basketball court, some natural art elements, and then decomposed granite repairs all along the loop. Trail park improvements have also started. Construction fencing went up a couple of weeks ago. The improvements at Trower Park are a little bit more elaborate, and so we anticipate that construction period to go a little bit longer than Alamo Creek. Construction will last through October. I know Melody is going to be issuing an RFP if she hasn't already for the art component. That'll go sometime within the establishment period, so the fencing might stay up a little bit longer at Trower Park. We've got good news on the Lagoon Valley Archery. That project is complete. The fencing came down last week, and it's open and looking pretty good.
Great.
Now, I know this has been a question that's come up quite a bit with the commission. The city pavilion at Play for All Park has got a design. We've got both a muralist, Lorenzo Crockett out of Vallejo, and another artist by the name of Tom Eridonch. He's the individual who did the dragon at Andrews Park, who's going to be doing some tile work at the base of the pavilion. We've got them on board. They actually are slated to start this week or next week, depending on when we can onboard them. And the mural portion of the work should take about a week or two. And the tile work is supposed to start at the end of the month and also only takes about a week. So we anticipate that within the next month or so, this work will be completed. The open space at Owl Park, that's in the Roberts Ranch subdivision, is complete and open to the public. And this is the landscape trail area that's located, that connects the dog park to the future Phase 3 park. The eastern portion of Magnolia Park, the construction is actually complete, but the fencing is still up because it's within the establishment period. That'll last approximately 90 days, and staff is expecting that the park will be open for the public in mid-August. I've got a brief update on Centennial Bike Park. Landify expects to begin receiving dirt this week. Project information signs are posted at the site and provide a link to the city webpage that provides more information and current updates for the project. This is a public works project that I've talked about in the past. It impacts a few of our sites, and so I'm only going to talk about the impacts to our specific sites. The solar project has begun at 3 of the sites. It's Duke, McBride, and Three Oaks. If you've been out to any of those sites, you've noticed that the trees have been removed and that some of the structures are vertical. And we anticipate that for those sites, the work will go through June. And then starting later this month, we'll have Phase 1 of Ulatis. So here are some images I wanted to share. This is at the Duke Andrews Park. This is McBride. This is Three Oaks. And this is the work that's coming at Ulatis. One of the things that should be noted is that there is a concurrent construction effort that the county is doing at the library at the site. So there will be some sort of compounding impacts to this particular site when it comes to parking. That concludes my updates. Any questions?
Thank you, Nemo. You obviously have been quite busy.
Just a little, yeah.
Are there any questions of Nemo? And let's limit your questions to the projects that are in his presentation, please. Start off with Commissioner Bruman.
Nemo, on the project, I think that's, wow, that thing's really echoing today. Must be our voices. But the project that's right there in front of the library, that's the one you talked about, McBride?
At McBride?
And down there on Main Street and...
Yes, I apologize. It's a shared parking lot?
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
How long is that going to be down, you said?
We anticipate that the construction is going to go through June.
For June?
But we're not managing that project, so if anything changes, we have to sort of rely on these other departments to sort of reach out and tell us. We're in contact with them.
I'm just getting inquiries from, because people know I'm part of this. It's a rough when we get our parking back, you know? It's like, hey, dude, park where you can.
Hopefully next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Klein.
Thanks for the presentation, Nemo. Appreciate the warm welcome. I just have a brief question about Corderos Park. The trees that were taken down in that project, will they be relocated, replaced, or, and then it looks like you have a lot of eastern redbuds out there, and those aren't really like sufficient for shade. So I'm just wondering if that's part of this project or if that's a separate thing.
So I'm not managing Corderos Park, but the individual that is sitting right behind me. So I don't know if he wants to come down.
Who is that guy? I don't recognize him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hugh Hesterman. I'll introduce him. Should we give him a round of applause? No. Here.
There we go. There weren't any trees removed at Corderos except for some that had died. They were very young trees. They have been replaced. So I'm not sure if that's specific to your question.
It was part of my question, yeah. So I do know that the young growth trees were removed, but then I'm wondering, there were trees on the sketch that I saw that don't seem to match the actual reality. I don't see trees that are planted around the basketball court. If they are, I might have missed them.
Okay, so regarding the basketball court,
Yeah.
there were a few trees added, but when the park was initially constructed, that space for the basketball court was left blank and ready for the basketball court at some point in the future. So I think there was one tree removed where the basketball court actually was placed.
Yeah, not to be too literal, but it looks like there's a lot of trees in the sketch, and there are not that many trees at the actual park. And so trees are obviously shade, and this is a sweltering park.
Excuse me, if I can interrupt. This item is not agendized to have a full conversation about Corderos Park, so if we can, if the commissioner would like to have a full conversation, we can agendize it for future reference, but this is just to accept the report that Nemo has given, so.
Okay, there were questions. I was just
I understand,
asking
but it's just not agendized for that.
Okay, I'd love to see this on the agenda, and if we could discuss the layout.
Sure, or I'd be happy to have a private conversation with you too.
I don't think we can do that either. I think if we can't talk about it here, we can't have a private conversation about it, right, Nancy?
You can email him about it.
Okay, but
You can email him about the trees, absolutely.
But I can't talk about it here.
No, it's not agendized to be talked about. It's just agendized to receive a report about, from Nemo about the updates about the parks.
Okay. Can I request it to be on the agenda? Right.
Yes, you can, and I'd like to clarify. So any commissioners can, if they have a question or a topic, can reach out to staff individually, and we can provide information back to a commissioner. And then through the chair and myself determine if it's an item that would make sense to bring back as a business item for conversation.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you.
Any other questions? Great, seeing none, thank you, Nemo.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so moving on to reports of the director. Director Mueller, would you like to provide us some updates on the department?
Can I go first?
Did I skip over? Yep. I've never done that before, have I?
Never.
Never.
This was the first.
Yes, my apology. So yeah, let's go back up to 14A, and we'll get some program updates from our recreation manager, Melody Land. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Chair.
Welcome.
Thank you, Commissioners. I just have a few updates for you this evening. First is just a little recap on VacaCon that happened in April on the 12th and 13th and was a wild success. As you all know, this is a California Park and Rec Society award-winning program, state award winner. And we had some new elements to it this year, the courtyard performances, 10 new celebrities and cosplayers, and a new crafty corner where people could actually kind of learn how to do some cosplay production. So, and the pictures you see here are three different categoried cosplay contest winners, and shout out to Anchor Tattoo, who provided $200 of prize money to them. That was really exciting and such a a nice benefit for all the hard work. You can see these costumes are quite elaborate, and they put a lot of time, energy, and investment into them. And then we have John Morris on the right, who is the voice of Andy in Toy Story. So that was just kind of one celebrity that I wanted to highlight for everyone. Next slide. You heard about this one already, but it's still part of my reports. We always like to share upcoming events and some highlight a few programs here and there. So this is our Multicultural Fest happening this weekend, and we are expecting to possibly have a little shout out on Good Day Sacramento tomorrow morning. You never know what their schedule might bring or change things, but we do have a reporter scheduled to come out tomorrow morning to speak with a couple of our performers, as well as Kristen Milliken, who is here this evening. Next slide. A little fun upgrade. This is one that I personally am just so excited about. We finally replaced, if you have been to Ulatis and you've seen kind of these brown dingy curtains that don't make for a good atmosphere for rentals, or we host weddings here, quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs, fundraisers, crab feeds, and the brown kind of mishmash pattern that has been on them is just not the most aesthetically pleasing. And so now we have just kind of more of a neutral tone, a bit of a gray, but it works really well. Those who get out to events a lot, you'll see a lot of DJs have kind of ground lighting, and that's just fun because it just picks up any color that you put on it. So I wanted to highlight that improvement to our facility at Elatis. And then we have an exciting new senior computer basics program. This is free. This is actually a grant-funded program through the Public Utilities Commission. And what we're really excited to share is that our qualifying seniors can get a free tablet after completing the course. So these are 4-week courses, and we have quite a few for the next year starting this June. And so we're just trying to promote that. You'll hopefully see some promotions all over the place with this one because we really want to get some computer literacy for those seniors who have not taken advantage yet or haven't had the opportunity. So targeted towards seniors, but certainly we are at liberty to kind of expand it as needed. And if there is someone who's interested, feel free to send them our way, regardless of age. And then I just wanted to share a few stats. I know I won't read all these numbers to you, but I just wanted you all to kind of see the progression of the increases that we've had over the years of our summer hiring. For those of you who have been on the commission for a few years, you know some of the challenges we've had, the discussions, the advice we've received. And this is from our summer hiring fairs that take place. This last one happened in April. And you can really see, kind of how the numbers have grown. And I'm happy to report that we are looking well-staffed for this summer. This is for our entry-level recreation specialist 1 position specifically. It is one where there are no previous kind of job requirements or skills experience needed. And so being able to kind of capture our high school students, kind of 15 and up, who haven't had a job before typically, and really engage them. And it seems like we're being able to do that more and more. And I was excited to share that when I saw these numbers come into my inbox. I wanted to kind of celebrate it. Next slide. The Arts and Culture Master Plan. So you all have heard about this and gotten some updates here and there. We do have a draft plan. It is online. I encourage you to go and check that out, CityofVacaville.gov/arts. This is going to be on the agenda next month. So this is kind of your opportunity to preview it and not have to rush through reading this, kind of 100-page document when you get it on the Thursday before the next commission meetings. Go ahead and start taking a look at it. We are going to be asking for feedback on this at the upcoming commission meeting in June. Next slide. And then unfortunately, I am ending on a sad note. We're hoping to have 2 folks to celebrate during our 20 years of staff service. Judy Myring is someone who recently passed. She was a longtime facility attendant at McBride, and she had worked many other stations with us as well. After 20 years, she with City of Vacaville, and she spent that time after her retirement continuing to give back to the community. She volunteered with our Vacaville Police Department. She volunteered with the CHP. She was known for her energy, resilience, and East Coast spunk, and raised 3 children as a single mom while working full-time and attending college. And we were just very fortunate to know her. I shared many a special moment with Judy, and I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge her and all her service and the great contributions that she's made to our community. And if you all might join me in a quick moment of silence for Judy, I would like to do that now. Thank you. That is my last slide. Sorry to end on such a somber note, but if you do have any questions, I can take those at this time.
Thank you, Melody. Any questions for Melody? Okay. Commissioner Klein. Kelsey.
Please. KKK, hard K sounds. Regarding Vacacon, I know the dust has not quite settled on it yet. I mean, the smoke is still there. But any thoughts on expanding the event for next year?
We are continuously looking to expand. We would love to see it continue to grow, absolutely.
Have you ever thought about borrowing some ideas from the San Diego event?
That's actually where it was birthed from. So, you know, they are the originators. And so I think one of our challenges is the limited space that we have at our facilities, ULATIS being our biggest location. And so that does restrict us a bit. But yes, absolutely. Anytime we have a chance to expand, we want to do so.
My suggestion would be bring the cast of the original Star Trek so we can have a nice Q&A with Captain Kirk. That would be kind of cool.
I'll let you take that budget up with council, okay? That request.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vice Chair Gutierrez.
I have a question about the hiring, and that was really nice to see. And I'm curious, was that an increase in positions, or was it an increase in actually being able to get bodies into existing?
Yes, Tracy, if you want to go back to that slide. It was an increase in getting folks out to our summer hiring event. So, and as you can see, as a result of specifically our summer hiring event, how many people were actually hired from that specific one-time happening. So we've always, been pretty steady in the number of positions that we need, and that fluctuates a little bit, as you can imagine, with part-time staff and their availability. But just being able to, we've, in recent past years, we have been scrambling to be able to really fill our staffing needs and really having, to say, hey, staff, can you work a little bit more? Because we have more shifts that need to be filled. And so to be able to, kind of say, hey, we're fully staffed up, and to see the folks coming out to this event has just really been a great success for us. And credit where credit is due, our HR department has been amazing at helping us out, and they really take a strong lead with this event as well. So thanks to them.
I'm glad you're giving yourself a pat on the back, because I know it was oh my gosh, hiring, and you guys really stepped it up with marketing and being creative, and it's nice to actually see the fruit of your guys' labor.
Absolutely, and exciting for the community, because that means that we're able to provide more services, and we were able to increase numbers in our summer camps. And so that's really great to know that we are able to serve more families who are in need of that childcare, and that we're able to provide a quality program for them.
And provide more jobs locally.
Yes, absolutely. We got to get these teens working, right?
Win.
Yes.
Commissioner Bruman.
Yeah, I just want to add more to the VacaCon. That was my first time attending and judging, and it was so much fun. It was great. And from adults to kids, everybody really gets into it. Anybody that said Amazon, they got demerits on that one, but most of them went to thrift stores. It was pretty amazing how they came up with their costumes and everything. It was really good.
They're
very nicely done. Thank you.
Yeah, they're very creative with the costume and the cosplay, and they put a lot of work into it.
Yeah,
so.
Very nice.
Seeing no other questions, we'll move on to Director Mulder to provide his department updates report.
Good evening once again, Chair and Commissioners, and yes, welcome Commissioner Klein as well. Actually, I think staff has covered a lot of the department updates already, but I do want to touch on one announcement of news that came out from the City of Vacaville today from Mayor Carley, and it's exciting news about our next city manager. So if you haven't heard, we have a new city manager that will be joining the city on June 30th, and her name is Savita Chaudhary, and she comes to the City of Vacaville from being the assistant city manager at the City of Fairfield, our neighboring city. She's actually a lifelong Vacaville resident, and so she's very, she knows the City of Vacaville really well, and based on her press release, it said that she enjoys spending a lot of times in Parks and Recreation in our facilities as well. So I'm excited about that. Just so you know, our city manager, Aaron Bush, is retiring. His last day of employment is May 23rd, so that is coming up. In the interim, our assistant city manager, Georgianne Megger-Smith, will be the acting city manager up until June 30th when our new city manager comes on board. So I just wanted to provide that announcement to the commission as well. And I know as city staff, we're excited to see kind of leadership continue at the city manager level. So that's the only report I have. So I'll pass it back to the chair.
Any questions of the director? Great. Thank you. So we'll move on to item 16, appointments. For this item, we have 3 committees to fill. So we'll start off with the first one, which is the Facility Naming Committee. And to give a little bit of background to our newest commissioners, I think I asked staff to put this on the agenda. We filled this committee mid last year, but we didn't have any, it never had any work done. There was no meetings held because we didn't have any facilities to name at that point. So it was really sort of has been inactive to that date. And if I recall correctly, this indicates Commissioner Frazier, Commissioner Bruman, and Vice Chair Gutierrez were named to that committee. I asked staff to just put it on the agenda just as a check-in with those that are already serving to see if they still want to continue to serve. If not, they can step down and we can see if another commissioner might be interested. But I just thought I would, as we were putting all these together, I thought I would just put that forward. So I'll first turn to Commissioner Frazier, Bruman, and Vice Chair Gutierrez to see if they still want to serve or. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Question. Yeah. Vice Chair Gutierrez.
Do we know or anticipate if there will be any facilities to name? I feel like being on this committee, it's either really quiet, and then when it's not, it's not, and there's a lot of facilities that you have to participate in naming, but is there going to be anything coming up?
Maybe I can answer that first. I served on the last committee, and we had a round of 8 parks and facilities to name, and we actually did some really a lot of work, great work, rewarding work. But if I recall correctly, there was another batch to be coming. I don't know if our planners have an estimated date of that. Is that no? So that's still yet to be determined. So.
Yeah. Thank you.
So if I hear all 3 would like to serve, I will. Would you still like to continue to serve? Sure. Okay. All right. Great. So. I will appoint Commissioner Frazier, Bruman, and Vice Chair Gutierrez to continue to serve on the Facility Naming Committee. Great. Let's see. Next is the an appointment of 1 member to serve on the Youth Sports Advisory team. So this is the liaison to youth sports leagues that participate in YSAT and have agreements with the city for the use of city facilities. Are there any commissioners that are interested in serving on that team? No. I was, as I was getting to know Commissioner Gollinger, I know her background, previously serving on the Parks and Recreation Commission for the city of Rio Vista. She had quite a bit of experience. Her not being here tonight, I don't really feel comfortable making an appointment without really checking in with her. Would it be possible to just move the appointment of this to the next meeting?
We could possibly do that. I can tell you that because I did have one-on-one meetings with the new commissioners, and she did state to me in that one-on-one that she was very interested in this committee. So I do know that she has expressed interest in this. So knowing that, I think I would feel comfortable if the commission moved forward in that direction, if the commission decided to do that, or if we could wait as well. But I think it would be okay to just move forward with her if the commission wanted to go that route.
And then just contingency planning, Nancy, if we were to back out, we could just agendize it for another meeting and just reappoint somebody.
Correct.
Okay, great. Great, so I will appoint Commissioner Gollinger to serve on the Youth Sports Advisory Team. And I actually have her contact information. I'll just reach out to her and just kindly share that if you do. That's okay. Okay. Great. Moving on to the next appointment is we need one member to serve on the Vacaville Arts and Cultural Alliance Committee. That has been, Commissioner Bruman has served on that committee for, let's see, 1 year or two?
Actually, I just got on.
You just got on, okay. Yeah. Would you like to continue to serve, or you have?
Definitely, I'd continue with that.
Okay. Any other interest for that? No?
I'd be interested.
Okay. I think since Commissioner Bruman has just served, I'd like to just, I think there's help in having continuity for a while. So I think respectfully, I'll appoint Commissioner Bruman to the Vacaville Arts and Cultural Alliance. And that's a 1 year term generally is how we do that. So this time next year, we would bring that forward again. Okay. Great. Great, so I'll appoint Commissioner Bruman to serve on the Vacaville Arts and Cultural Alliance Committee. Great. And then the last committee on our list is not on the agenda, though. Yes, I think. I serve on the Vacaville Performing Arts Theater Selection Committee, and I think that we didn't put that on this agenda for this time because it sort of operates on a different calendar, and so I think we might have one meeting, but we're pretty much all wrapped up by now. So I think that will probably come around here probably later this year for a reappointment.
Just one quick question.
Yep. Yes.
So I know on the next one for VPAT, it says typically not a commissioner whose term will end the following March. Or I know my term and both your term ends the following March. So I don't know if we need to put that on the agenda. If we're sticking to a commissioner whose term will not end the following March.
That's right. So that's it. We'll have staff note that we'll need to appoint that before the end of the term. Thank you.
Chair,
yes.
I believe usually we make that appointment in November. So all the commissioners will be here still to make that appointment, and anyone that will be up the following year will have to just.
Great.
Got it. Thank you.
Great. And then so the last appointment is we need one member to serve on the Play for All committee. Is there anyone interested in that committee? Well, first maybe I can have staff maybe just give a brief update on what that committee is all about.
Hugh, would you mind coming forward? I know you're active in that committee.
Thank you, Hugh.
Yes, certainly.
I got it.
Yeah, that position basically involves attending the committee meetings via Zoom, which are held on the second Monday of each month at 5:30 p.m. So there's one coming up this next Monday. And then attending events and assisting as wherever you can with the committee in general, fundraising, public noticing, and that sort of thing is pretty much what the commissioner's requirements would be.
So is there any interest in the Play for All committee? Mr. Kelsey?
I do have a high interest in this, but unfortunately I have a scheduling conflict on Mondays. So that's my only reservation
work,
about
huh?
this. Yeah. I could try to move things around, but I understand the agenda is what it is, and appointments have to be made, so, yeah.
Hugh, do you know if that's pretty a set agenda? There's quite a few people that serve. That'd be difficult to adjust that?
I think it would be difficult
Yeah, okay.
to adjust that, but staff, I personally attend that and could report out
Okay.
either way.
Is there any other interest to serve on that committee? Right, well, seeing none, I'll appoint Commissioner Kelsey, and we'll see what we can do to work out your schedule. We'd appreciate your volunteering, and I'm sure we can maybe work something out. Great, thank you. Right, so I will appoint Commissioner Kelsey to serve on the Play for All committee. Wonderful. So next we'll move to reports of the commissioner.
Excuse me.
Oh, yes.
If you don't mind taking a vote on all of the appointments, lump sum, just so we can solidify all of the appointments.
Okay, I didn't know we needed to do that.
Please, if you don't mind.
We'll do that. So I'm looking for a motion to appoint Commissioner Frazier, Bruman, and Vice Chair to the Facility Naming Committee, Commissioner Gollinger to the Youth Advisory Committee, Commissioner Bruman to the Vacaville Arts and Cultural Alliance Committee, and Commissioner Kelsey to the Play for All Committee.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
A motion, a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. And aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Great, thank you. Great, moving on to reports of the commissioners. I'll start off with the birthday boy, Commissioner Bruman.
I will let my wife say you said happy birthday.
That's how long I'm on Facebook. I see just a little blurb and
Yeah, we happened to go out of town for her birthday, so yeah, a lot was happening. But I don't have really much to report, but as you guys all know, Vacaville Fiesta Days is on around the corner. There's also our tickets for the barbecue that are for sale that happens on May 19th, on the Monday before the parade and everything. So if you guys need tickets, you can see me, or you can go on the website and talk to Karen. That's it.
Great. Next, we'll start off with our newest commissioner, Commissioner Klein. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I have no report. Thank you.
Commissioner Frazier.
I do have one thing. It's coming up on May 17th and 18th. It's a partnership with the City of Vacaville and the Vacaville Swim Club, and we're providing some free adult lessons. It's going to be so adults can sign up through the Parks and Rec, the recreation guide. And so they can do 2 half-hour sessions, one Saturday, one Sunday, with adults who have also, taught lessons and things like that. So the goal is to, again, have adults become more water safe, because it's estimated that like 35% of our adults do not know how to swim. And so, so this is an outreach event. It's free, with the hopes of having some others attend our summer program. So we provide lessons in the summer. So 2-week lessons during the summer. So that's on the 17th and 18th from 12 to 2. And so they just pick out a half-hour spot on each of those 2 days. So that's coming up.
Well, thanks. And Commissioner Kelsey.
Nothing to report, except I am part of the downtown Vacaville farmers markets that happen every Saturday, and I invite everybody to come out, enjoy a day in the sun and fun, bring the families, bring the pets, a lot of great vendors.
And Vice Chair Gutierrez.
Yeah, congratulations to the new city manager. That's exciting. Another key role filled here in Vacaville. So look forward to, it sounds like already she has a passion about what we do and what we cover. So it'll be nice to meet her. So congratulations. Welcome again, Commissioner Klein. Happy to have you here with us. Excited about the multicultural event. I will be out there. So I'm really, really excited about that and just excited about seeing our events continue to grow. And happy Mother's Day this weekend to all the moms or people filling in for moms. And that's it. That's all I have.
Thank you, Vice Chair. And yes, I few things. Just want to welcome Commissioner Klein. Look forward to getting to know you and appreciate your service and everything. I also attended VacaCon, and I echo the comments of Commissioner Broom, and I just thought it was a wonderful, wonderful event. And I was able to interact with quite a few of the vendors as well, and for the most part, they were very happy and satisfied, and so just a great event overall. So very impressive. The scale of over 2 days of that event. So great job to staff. I'm also looking forward to the Arts Master Plan coming before us next month. And so looking into, I've reviewed it briefly, but I'm gonna dig into it a little bit more so that we're prepared to talk about that in detail and hopefully recommend it to the council. Nancy, thank you for sitting in and joining us today. We always
Very welcome.
appreciate
It's
it.
a wonderful commission.
Keep us in line. And yeah, lastly, I also can't pass to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and I'd also add congratulations to all the graduates that are coming up this year. One being my daughter here this weekend that I'm looking forward to. So. But with that, that's all I have. So I will, if there's not any further business, we'll adjourn to the next regular meeting on Wednesday, June 4th at 6 p.m. Thank you, everyone, and good night, Vacaville.